Hey, let's go check out this HJ Monaro project. How you going? Phil from Aussie Garage here again with Phil Davies. We're here to talk about his HJ Monaro. We spoke at Big Boys Toys, but Phil's also part of West Coast Banners like I am. So we're here to talk about the build today. So tell us a bit about the car. Are you doing a full restoration on this, or are you doing a bit more of a factory mod or a full custom?
It's a bit of everything. It's actually an LS.
Yep.
It was Casino Blue as the original colour.
Okay, nice.
Which is the same colour as the King Chrome Toolbox, so
yep.
I'm not too thrilled about that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, fair enough.
Because it's an LS, it gives me a bit more licence to be creative. If it's a GTS, you'd be compelled to follow the tags with all the codes on it.
Yep.
But being an LS, I can create my own GTS.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a GTS that you could have ordered from the factory back in 1974.
Yep, cool.
And I've changed the engine. I've still got the original engine on it, but yep. I never modify the bodies, and I always go with factory paints, and I never modify the interior. It's going to have the full GTS interior, slate interior.
Yep, okay.
And but I'll be running a 383 Chev,
and
Turbo
nice.
400 and 9-inch.
Oh, perfect. They always work well on any body car.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Anytime I want to, I can just drop the 308 back in it.
Yep.
So it was originally a 308 car with factory air.
Perfect, perfect. So, I mean, how long have you owned this vehicle for?
I've owned it for about 7 years.
Yep.
I bought it off Todd from Rare Parts about 7 years ago.
Yep.
And he bought it off another guy, and when I bought it, I started sourcing out parts for it.
Okay.
And a couple of weeks later, some doors came up in Gumtree. I rang him up. The guy was just 2 streets away from me. Went around there. It
yep.
turned out to be the same guy who sold it to Todd.
Oh, awesome.
So I got a bit of history of it, and basically the car's just been sitting for years and years. Nobody's wanted to touch it because it's had a bad accident in the rear quarter panel.
Okay, yep.
And it's all bent, and it's had a really, really dodgy repair on it.
Yep.
And the first one is attempted to put it back on the road.
Awesome. Well, so far, when we have a look at the vehicle, mate, so far it looks great. These cars have always been iconic, especially coupes. Yep. Everyone
yep.
loves coupes.
Yep.
Okay. They've always been that kind of a standout, kind of of the Monaros.
Yep.
The 4 doors are great, but the coupes always stand out.
Yep.
So, I mean, with this one here, what are you looking as far as budgets from the time you started it all the way through to having it fully restored?
I was lucky. I bought it before the boom went for these cars,
yep.
and I bought a lot of parts for it before prices went through the roof.
Yep.
So it probably only 75.
Oh, nice.
By the
yep.
time it's done, but a lot of work's gone into it, and mainly most of that money was taken up with the bodywork and the repairs.
Of course.
Because the repairs were done a long time ago, and they were just rough. I'm talking about silicone and cowls and all that sort of thing painted over, and it's just dodgy, but it's still a solid shell.
Yeah, well, we'll see you taking it back down to bare metal. Is the reason why you're taking it straight back down to bare metal rather than just sending it back?
once we started fixing up the quarter panel, basically opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
And so just take all the paint off it, start again, and found put a lot of body filler in it, and most of that's come out now. And this car's a keeper.
Yep.
So, and as we went down, we saw how they did it before. They put body filler over bare metal.
Yep.
And the surface rust under that, and that would have come out in the future. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, it went that far, maybe just go all the way.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right, right from the start. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially, I mean, the valuable cars now as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
no, for sure, for sure. And what are the key areas that you're working on right now?
Repairs.
Fair enough.
Rust repairs and accident repairs.
Yep.
And then after that will be bodywork.
Yep.
Then after that will be paint.
Okay.
And then put it all together and drive.
Perfect. Perfect. No, sounds awesome. So as far as the engine, gearbox, what are you thinking you're going to have in it? You've already mentioned a bit on the engine already, but talk us through a bit more about what you're thinking, how you're going to dress it up, what's it going to look like.
I'm going to leave it how it is for now. Just clean it up. The engine base is going to be factory flat black.
Okay. Nice.
I want it to look factory.
Yep.
The engine actually came out of a very well-known WA vampire.
Okay, yeah.
And that engine was in it when they went to the van at Bathurst. So they did a lap at Bathurst, so technically I can say the Bathurst motor.
Yep. Fair enough. Why not?
Yeah, that motor's been around Bathurst,
Yep.
So it's got a shift kit in it, it's got 3/5 gears in it.
Yep,
so
cool.
I'll just see how it goes first, and then my priority is just get this thing on the road first.
Yeah.
And then I'll worry about the engine later on.
Yeah, you mentioned when we were talking earlier that the car's licensed already, so you don't have to take over the pits, you don't have to do any of that, because it's got all the gear that it had in it when it was licensed anyway, basically.
Yeah, I just have to get the engine number changed, that's it.
Yeah, well that's an easy process, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's fine, as long as it's set up for that kind of, there's no conversion.
No.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, perfect. And as far as colour-wise, what are you thinking as far as what it's going to end up looking like?
Factory colour, HJ colour. I'll paint it yellow because Troy hates yellow. Absinthe yellow.
Yeah,
no, I'm thinking of DeVille blue.
Okay.
Or jade green.
Yep.
Because I've always wanted a HJ coupe when I was 12 years old.
Yep.
I went to Melbourne Motors. We used to go to Melbourne Motors after school and jump into all the cars, and the salesman chase us off and give us stickers and brochures to get rid of us.
Yep.
But I always made a beeline for this jade green HJ coupe.
Yep.
And it had a slate black interior. And that's why all my cars at 16 had slate black interiors.
Yep.
But I could never afford a HJ coupe back in the 80s. I could afford a bunking HQ, but never the HJ.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking sort of going back to my childhood.
Yeah, fair enough.
And jade green, slate black interior. Widened GTS rims, they're actually Pontiac rims.
Nice.
So the 15s, genuine 15-inch rims.
Cool.
Widen that 8 at the back.
Yeah,
so it still looks factory.
Absolutely.
So.
No, perfect. I mean, you mentioned Melbourne Motors, like, obviously Melbourne Motors back in the day must have been a fairly large dealership, because even my Sandman, when that was sold from there in '77. So it obviously was fairly large and fairly well known, which is great. Yeah, it's good to have those background stories regarding that.
Yeah, especially I'm old enough to remember actually sitting in a GTS, HJ GTS coupe, brand new, and the smell, I can still smell it now.
Yeah. So, all those kind of flashbacks, it brings it right back into memory bank, doesn't it?
Yeah, and my dad always had Holdens as well. So.
Yeah. No, awesome. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, this is your garage, obviously. You're doing a lot of work out of here right now. How long have you been in this place for?
I retired a year ago, and I've moved in probably about 6 months ago.
Yep.
I've had this unit for about 20 years.
Okay.
It used to be a bakery.
Oh, nice.
So if you see behind, you've got the cooling panels.
Oh, yeah.
There. And bakery got big and bigger, and we had to move to a bigger place, and we kept this one, and now I've retired, I've just moved into it, and this will be my man cave.
Yeah, fair enough.
So when I get time, then I'll finish it off.
Well, it's very nice so far. You've got all your toys here, which is great. You've got all the equipment that you need to do what you're building.
Yeah.
So, I couldn't ask for anything more, really.
No, when I first started playing with cars, it was in gravel driveways, crawling underneath and things like that. And now I've got hoists and like a concrete floor.
Yep.
And yeah, you get smarter as you get older.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. When you're younger, I remember we were working on some old XYs with my brother. We used to pull the engine out, you know, with like 4 or 5 guys at a time instead of using the bloody engine hoist because we couldn't afford to get the bloody hoist. So
yeah, you couldn't buy them, you had to hire them.
Yeah,
it was expensive. And we used to, like on a Saturday, swap a motor out and buy dark, when it was dark, you're up and running and you're out with your girlfriends that night in the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now, if I don't finish, I can lock the doors, go home, come back tomorrow.
Yep. No, awesome, awesome. Look, obviously you're doing this most of yourself, by yourself, the rebuild and everything else, but look, do you have businesses or people that you want to thank for helping you out with this vehicle?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Troy for helping me out. He's been doing cars for 35 years now.
Awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, the first one was a Statesman up in Hazelmere in the dirt.
Yep.
And painting in the open at the backyard.
Yep.
And yeah, and we've just been playing with cars ever since then.
Oh, perfect.
And so but watching what he was doing with his hammer and dollies, straightening things up, and I was learning from him.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just old school panel beating. There's a difference between restoring a car and repairing a car.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you have an accident, you repair a car, they just want to get it out the door quick.
Yeah.
But restoring it and do everything properly.
Yeah, well, we noticed that when we were talking about one of the other builds that we've been following, which is Nick's fan, another member of the club. He put a massive chunk out of the quarter panel that fell on the floor, and we just all looked at it and went, holy crap, like this, and it was just full of rust underneath. But there was that much bog in that particular area that we weren't aware of, and we looked at that and we went, oh, why wasn't it just plated from the start? It would have been easier right back then.
Yep, that's like this, just had body fill all through the back, and I was thinking, and you can see how they've done different layers of it, just building it up, and I'm thinking the amount of time it took them to be body filler sculptures to create that back would have been quicker for them to pull it out and weld.
Oh, absolutely, especially with these days now we've got the usage of like Rare Spares and other companies that actually got most of these panels, or some of these panels, not all of them, that you can actually get already pre-casted, so it's easier.
We've only used one Rare Spares, and that was the Beaver panel.
Yep.
And Troy's, the seals were part of the seals.
Yep.
But Troy's fabricated everything, all the plenums.
Nice.
All the dodgy bits in the boot, we just hand fabricated them, and it looks factory.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really old school.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that kind of like hand craftsmanship, it's kind of it's a dying out these days.
Yeah.
And like we see about like even engines and tuning up the engine, we've mentioned it before, that you know a lot of the guys coming through can't even tune old carburetors these days.
Yeah.
So these kind of art form on these vehicles, it is a dying form of artwork.
Yeah. And because we come from the old days when we were young, we had no money, so we had to do everything ourselves. And,
absolutely.
And mates help, and you learn, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it also comes down to, like we find that the generations that we've got coming through, a lot of stuff is so disposable these days. Everyone just goes, just get a new one, kind of thing. And that even comes down to cars. I mean, I suppose back in the day we were a bit like that with these cars, and now look at it. You know.
We used to throw, this door's got a dent in it, and you throw the door away and just put another door on. Now these doors are worth a fortune.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's rust-free doors, and the coupes, early 80s we'd buy coupes, just strip them for the GTS front ends and the dashboards, put on our vans and our utes. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, Jesus.
Yeah. Like I wish we could go back in time, for sure.
Yeah.
And okay, what we're going to do is we'll have a look around the car and you explain a few things to us, and point out a few areas that you've been working on right now, which will be great for us to understand. If you had $1 million, you can buy whatever you wanted to do, what would be your absolute dream car?
A DeLorean, go back in time.
Yep.
And buy HJ Monaros and store them.
Yeah, I think we probably all do that.
And write a note to myself so 40 years later I know where they are and I can cash them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, for me, $1 million won't buy it, but a Lamborghini Miura
is
probably one of the nicest, beautiful cars ever made.
Yeah, fair enough.
But they're probably about $15 million now.
Yeah.
I'd settle for something quirky like a Citroen SM.
Okay, yeah.
Which is Sports Maserati.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah, or 4.7 layer-ins.
Perfect. No drama. Let's go have a look around the car.
Yep.
And let's see some of the repairs and some of the things you've done. And then we can come back from there and have a sit back down. And then what we'll do is we'll run from there.
Okay.
Really. Mate, show us a bit of where the damage was on the vehicle and stuff like that, so we can have a look at it all.
This was all stowed in.
Yep.
And the chassis is bent in and bent up. So we did the old forklift seat container trick to pull it out.
Perfect.
And all this down there has been fabricated.
Nice.
And all that there's all been hand fabricated by Troy. You've still got to get cleaned up yet.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And
all this will have to be pulled out. It was all buckled in here.
Yep.
I replaced the whole floor from here to here. It was all just wrinkly. I thought if you looked under there, it's going to look horrible.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd go all the way and make a whole new piece. Straighten all this out as it was under pressure. When Phil got it, he said there was a quarter panel over this quarter panel, the damaged one.
Oh wow! They just shoved it on top and then.
Yeah, and there was a gap. That's there was a gap like up here.
yeah, when I got it, actually had the quarter panel on it.
Yeah.
And it's sitting up like that.
Oh crap!
We
Yeah.
welded it over it.
Yeah. So we cut it off, and like the previous owners, they just dwelled on it, what to do with this car.
Yep.
And about 6 o'clock in the morning, a mate rang me up and said the left-hand quarter panel's just come on Gumtree.
Nice.
And I couldn't get there. It was in Mandurah, I couldn't get there. So I waited till 7 o'clock, didn't want to wake anybody up. I rang up and the lady answered and said, oh, that's my husband's, but he's gone away, he's at work. I said, I'll put some money in your account now, just hold it for me.
Yep.
Look at the weekends. She said, I can bring it up to you if you want.
Oh, nice.
And she
Perfect.
just chucked it in the car and drove it up to me.
Oh, wow.
And that's the only quarter panel I've ever seen for sale.
Yep.
And then it just sat there, and I was still thinking, oh, it's going to be a big job.
Yep.
This is going to be when I retire type job.
Yep. Absolutely.
But Troy is the one who got it to fit, took.
Perfect.
They had a bit of the old quarter panel on it.
Yep.
This one as well. They drilled the spot welds off, but they still didn't get it off.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see why they've never got it off. It's without grinding all the inside off.
Yeah.
So
Well, we
that
saw
was
one of the other guys. He was working on his, and they were cleaning it all up, and they were trying to get it all nice and neat to like sand it back and get it painted, and sanded back the wrong area. It was just held together by bog, and the whole quarter panel fell off. That was it. It was just held by that. They didn't weld it. They didn't do anything. It just fell on the ground.
Some people don't have welders at the time. Like when I was young, I didn't have a welder.
Yeah.
You know, I did what I did, pot rivets, but even pot rivets would have been better than Bob.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You have to hire them for the weekend.
Yeah.
Like compressors, you have to hire them because they're too expensive to buy.
Well, that's it. As we did back then, we just did what we had available to us.
Yeah.
Make it work.
So we'd have to just bolt the car together.
Yep.
Just to get the quarter panel right and to get all the gaps right.
Absolutely. The gaps on it looked great. especially on this back end.
Yeah,
It's got a
that-
nice gap to it.
Yeah.
That worked well.
Considering we pulled it out with a forklift and changed it to a sea container.
Yep.
But it worked.
Yep.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yep. Just like that structural bit in there. I was on the forklift. I had it in reverse. It was hitting with the hammer and dolly and just straightened itself up.
Oh,
It
nice.
fits before your eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, once I had that plate off under there,
Yep.
once I had that off, I just re-straightened the whole chassis here, got it straight as possible, you know, the hammer and dolly. And
Yeah, well, at the moment, you wouldn't even been able to tell that's actually been.
Well, if you look
on
underneath,
that
I did
side.
it so you wouldn't tell, so I've done
Yeah.
it right on the seam line here.
Perfect.
So if you look under there, it's very hard to, you can put a little smear of probably seam still and you wouldn't even know, you know?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
still have to pull the fuel tank out in the carpet and you proof coat the whole back
Yeah,
tidy
of
up.
course. Yep, yep.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, you wouldn't do the rest of the car without doing all this anyway, so yeah, of course.
so we've gone this far and we just want to go
Yeah, go full hog.
do it properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sat there for decades, so a couple of months is going to kill us.
No, that's just it. That's it. And at the end of the day, it's better off doing it right the first time than having to redo it over and over again because
Yeah.
once you have to redo all the paintwork,
That's
you lose 20
Oh.
grand there just right
Yeah.
off the bat.
In the long run, you'll be looking and you'll be glad you did it.
Yeah,
That's right. And we did the stone training, the panel under there, that's all away.
no, nice. That is nice and clean. Yep,
Yeah.
like that.
But this is in there like that,
Yep.
and it was just body fluid all the way through there.
Oh crap, yeah, yeah.
And it's all the chrome trims, they fit in the perfect grip.
Yep, awesome.
They get tidied up.
Yep.
And this is what Boy's doing now. He's hand making
Oh yeah,
all
awesome.
the repair bits.
short little video on that little section there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
So Dan's got to do the other side.
Yep.
So that was all rust holes there. He's filled all them up, patched them all up. So all metal's going back in the car now, and
Perfect.
hardly any body filler.
Yeah.
We're using galvanised, so all you got to do is protect the welds, the rest will last just, you know, as long as galvanised lasts.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, definitely going to be a nice strong plate, that's for sure.
So again, I've got brand new interior. I've had a reconditioned dash as well,
Okay.
restored dash,
Yep.
dash fascia and dash pad. Seats are all done, door trims are all done, carpet, console's done. The console's actually different from a HJ to a HQ or a HXYZ.
Yeah, okay.
So I've got all that. So
Are you keeping the original kind of gauges or are you going to a digital or?
no, all factory.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I like my factory bodies and interiors.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The only thing I do change is in my cars is the motor.
yeah, of course. Okay, yep.
I like going fast.
Yeah, well, hey, if you got it, why not? If you got it, why not?
So here, this one's, see, everything's going back to bare metal.
Yep.
Once they're repaired, the front end and all the doors will come off, or we'll all go back to bare metal.
Yep.
So
Nice.
this is the 383.
It's a nice
So,
motor.
Yeah. Put a Serpentine system on. I'll put a Serpentine system in all my cars.
Yep.
Set the brake upgrade. All the suspension's been done. It's just a bit dirty because it's been sitting like this for about 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah.
But drive it around.
Yeah, and you're going to put, has it got a steering, power steering on this?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over manual steering.
Yep, that's fair enough.
The first thing I do in my cars is put power steering on them.
It takes a while to get some of these old bricks around the corner, don't it, when you haven't got it?
Yeah, I can remember female parallel parking at HQ manual steering.
Yeah, I remember when I had an XY, and sometimes trying to get that around the corner, it just, you didn't want to go, especially when you were going slow.
Yeah.
It took a bit of effort,
Yeah,
but still perfect when you're driving them.
yeah. I've deleted the aircon,
Yep.
but I've still got all the bits for it.
Okay.
So, and I've still got the twin headlight front ends for it.
Yeah.
So I can put it back to original in the future if I ever want
Okay.
to.
Well, either that or if you wanted to, you could put that vintage airing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a bit more compact than the old original ones.
Yeah, well, they only made, I think about 300 odd LSs in the HJs.
Yeah, yeah.
and about 600 GTS. So they didn't make any HJ Coupes.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the rare cars in the LS.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want GTS, and
Nice.
trying to get a GTS is pretty much impossible. So
Have you gone down to the pathway of getting all the paperwork from the Hollands Historical Society regarding the vehicle and all the background as far as that concerned?
no, I will do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did that for another car I had.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yep.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
looks good.
And this is just it looks scarier than what it actually is.
Yep.
We just took that off so far just to see what was under there.
Okay.
And this isn't the door I'm using, it's got a new door.
Yeah.
But this is what the other side looked like. Under there, they put silicone in there, whoever did it. And
Yeah.
so that side had holes like that. And so when he cuts that out, under there it'll be all rotted out. He'll replace that
Perfect.
and hand make another one of them.
Yep. Make it nice and solid
It
again.
looks like they didn't put a plate, they just thick, it's not silicone, it's kind of spongy. It
Okay.
doesn't look like they even plated it, they just did it fully up to the top and then pushed the panel on.
Yeah, well, I've seen people that have actually done that spray foam
Oh, yeah.
and sprayed it into places in cars.
Yeah.
And
That'll collect
you
water.
look at it and go, like, that was just a bitch to get out for one, and why? Like, surely you could have done something better than that, you know? Even if they had put a bit of plate over the top of it and then,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And for some reason they put too much body fill on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like they just coated the whole car body fill and just
You mentioned that it had like when you got the car through, it had that 80s feel, like it had the antenna in the middle there, it
Yeah.
had velour interior and all that kind of stuff as well. I mean, as far as the seats go and stuff like that, pretty much going back to the factory seats.
slate black seats.
Yep, nice.
Golf ball trim.
Yep.
With the red stripe down the middle.
Oh, cool. Yep,
So
yep.
it looked like a genuine GTS.
Yep, yep.
And there's little telltale signs it's a GTS because it's got the HQ steering column on it.
Yep.
And the console's different. Just a few things like that. It's, apart from the dash, obviously.
Yeah, yep.
So it hasn't been converted, another HQ converted to a straight.
Yeah, no, don't. Are you putting the original stereo back into it, or are you going to upgrade that?
No, just put the radio back in it.
Yep, fair enough.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And just so it looks like 1974.
Yep, that's it. I mean, mine's got the original one in my sound, man. And at the end of the day, I don't use it, but I don't ever turn the music on when I'm driving because all I want to do is listen to the bloody sound of the engine as I'm cruising down the road. So.
Yeah, all my cars are too noisy for stereo anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true as well.
Yeah, but this was when I got it, had the velour interior, and yeah, it just screamed 80s. And
Yep.
That's the original colour there, Casino Blue.
Oh, yeah, yep.
That's from the factory. But whoever had it, I'd say back in the 80s, stripped it back to bare metal and spent a lot of money on it. It's gone. The only paint job that's on it is the burgundy paint job. That they put
Okay,
on
yep,
it.
yep.
So all the factory oxide and that been taken off it. So
Yep.
then I'd say they just got disillusioned once they had the rear ender in it, and
And then just giving up on it.
Yeah,
And just
just-
gone, nah, enough's enough.
yeah, just been passed from hand to hand, and this
Yep.
is the last stop for it.
Fair enough. At the end of the day, it's better that you've got it and you've actually rebuilding it rather than sitting in someone else's house just under
Yeah.
rot still. So it's perfect to have these kind of cars back on the road and restored.
Yeah, rear end and the quarter panel damage is pretty scary, and I
Yeah.
took a punt on it,
And I took a risk, I've never done anything like that before. On
Yeah.
Monaro especially, first Monaro I've worked on.
he tells
Yep.
me now.
Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, you seem to be doing it right, so it's working so far, mate.
all
It's
guesswork.
working so far. That's it.
He was saying, we were measuring here, measuring there, measuring, and he's going, no, got to come out more, got to come out more.
Yep.
And
So I used to work on new cars.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I put them on the car liner, and this is just a bit more heavy than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
but you've worked on all your own cars.
Yeah. I've never done any smash work.
Yeah, seen that nice black one. Yeah.
The past wagon van.
Yep.
That was a $200 wreck.
$250, yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
All rusted out. He's just made.
You rebuild all the panels as well.
Yeah, it's a lovely van.
Yeah.
That is a lovely van.
So if I took it something to get done, I don't think they'd do it the way they do it. I mean, for them, it's time is money, and they just want to get it out the door.
Not only that, I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that have got cars in different shops at the moment, and it's 3, 4, 5 years plus projects, and they're not moving fast at all because they're so busy.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you can do it yourself, you get more enjoyment at the end too.
Yeah, I'm his apprentice.
Yeah. He's done all the paint stripping now.
Fair enough.
Help me out.
Yeah.
So once the repairs are done, then from the bodywork, then we'll get the rest of the paint off it, and then Troy will get it straight and get the lines back. He did it in my van, the green van I had.
Yep.
And
you've seen the pointing out, that's big, that's massive, and that's black, and I've got all lines straight on that. I spent some time on that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, especially on a bigger car like that, you got to make sure it's straight because it will show up.
So I'm going to try and get this pretty good, this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
this raise line, got to get the next wheel.
I was just going to pop it in mud.
No, you're not.
It's easier.
If you do, I'll go Will Smith on you.
Yeah, that seems to be the common talk this week is a Will Smith.
I thought I'd just get the trowel and go straight along the quarter panel.
Yeah. No,
but it's all straight now. That's what's put everybody off on this one for over all these years. And,
oh, nice.
And then,
and you're going to get all these restored?
Yeah, I've already got someone organised for that.
Okay, good.
And they're going to be wind out to 8s at the back.
Yep.
They're Pontiac rims.
Yep.
So they're actually 15, so they haven't, not the 14 centres, with the 15 bands.
Yep.
Because you can tell. So, because I had the diff narrowed about 10mm inside.
Okay, awesome.
To accommodate for that. And it'll look like I ordered it from Melbourne Motors in 1974.
Perfect.
And I asked them to put some bigger GTS rims on the back for me.
Yeah, well that's just it.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to hold them back in the day.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's probably why they find it difficult to track their bloody records compared to how Ford's got their records at the moment.
Yeah.
No, that's not a problem. And also we were sitting on your 1 tonner over there that you're doing.
Yep.
That's obviously a project on the go as well.
Yep, I was working on that, then we dropped everything, get this done.
Yep, perfect.
That's the another big block. You've already seen my other 1 tonner.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is going to be a big block with a 671 supercharger on it.
Oh, nice.
And that's another boyhood dream of mine, to have a blower sticking out the bonnet.
Yep, perfect.
So.
And I see you got the tray back at the moment.
Yeah.
You said something about having a van back on the back end?
It's actually on a ute chassis, which is shorter than a 1 tonner chassis.
Yeah.
So it's the same size as a van chassis. So eventually I'll chase up the van. I'm on the lookout now for a van chassis.
Yep.
And just take the cab off and drop it on.
Okay, nice.
And all the underneath will be done, ready to go anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I hope for a HQ one.
Oh, cool.
So
that'd be all right.
Yeah.
Be nice. And that one there, what are you thinking as far as colour-wise on that one?
I like my factory colours. I might go for like a nutmeg metallic brown.
Yep.
Or black.
Hey. Black.
Yep.
He doesn't make acrylic. He's really old school. He loves acrylic paint.
Yeah,
enough.
I like my acrylic there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this better shine, like glass effect you can get off it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like the mirror finish of acrylic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, a lot of people these days, like you see a lot of cars, they're all that matte black or that matte kind of finish. I still prefer the shine. I just think it stands out a lot more from my own personal opinion.
Yeah, it's like it's got a layer of glass on top of the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see your reflection in it. And, this looks great.
It looks deep.
Yeah. I mean, once you've done all the paintwork and you've got all the stuff ready to go on these, Are you going to get them things like the ceramic coating done on all of them to protect them?
No.
No?
No, I'll just
Take it
home.
Yep.
Just drive it every now and again.
Yep.
I'll still drive it, but you won't be going to shopping centres or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that.
fair enough, of course.
It'll be within ice.
Yeah. As we always do when we go out on the van club anyway, everyone has to see the car.
Yeah.
That's just a golden rule.
Yeah, I'll be going out club runs and things like that.
Yeah.
And but, yeah, I like my clear paint.
Fair enough.
And put enough clear on it, then it'll be right.
So you think this is going to be ready for the variety toy run in November?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
awesome.
Yeah. We just
Really?
You're going to work?
Okay then.
Probably going to need a couple of drivers if you're going to take the 1 tonne and this one out.
yeah, it's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pity you got so many cars. You'd like to take all of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, that's
to,
it.
No, look, for the club, I'll just take the 1 tonner.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
this is just me going for a cruise,
Okay,
you know. So,
personal satisfaction.
yeah, it's my special car.
Yeah.
Like 40 years later, I can finally afford it. I finally
Yeah.
got that car.
Yeah,
So,
I get that one, mate. I really do. I get that. Yeah. For me, that car is a GT. Like that XY. It doesn't have to be GT, but that XY type feel. That's something me and my dad used to enjoy, those kind of cars.
yeah.
Yeah. So I get that 100%. No, so this is perfect, right?
Yeah.
And you're getting on top of everything. So at the end of the day, we're going to keep coming back and checking on your progress
Yep.
as you go through the major stages.
Yep.
So we'll be able to see the updates and see what you've
Once
done
the-
and
yeah.
where you've been up to. This one time around with a little bit more time here because of the fact that we're looking at it in more highlight.
Yeah.
Once the rust is done,
Yep,
you get all the paint off, all the doors, strip it.
perfect.
We've got 2 epoxy 2-pack there.
Okay, yeah.
Do
yeah.
everything in that, fold it all back up,
Yep.
and then start body. We don't do body.
Yeah.
work.
Then strip it down, paint it, put it back together.
Absolutely.
We're thinking of painting it with every panel off,
Yep.
and then putting it back. That's going to be a mission alone, putting it all back together without chipping it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it'd be the better.
What do you mean we?
My penis.
Definitely makes it easier when there's 2 people doing it.
We just tape up the edges of the doors, you know.
Of course, yeah. Do what you got to do to make it work. Absolutely. No, that'd be awesome.
It'll be the best way. It'll get good. It'll look good.
It's going to be a sensational car, and I'm damn sure it's going to turn a lot of our heads as you roll on down the street once it's finished. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just do this rough. I mean, I'll make it a lot better than this. You always got to leave a little bit of the original panel. Try and cut. Always try and cut less of the original panel off as possible. That way, you can always mould it back. That's what I do. That's what's the other side.
So for our entertainment, Troy is going to cut this out and we're going to have a look at what bodginess is underneath.
2013 with other people, and in 2013 I ran my own business until 2013.
Try and keep the sparks away because they might get you.
That's all. Bit of automotive archaeology. Automotive archaeology.
What secrets around here? I have to find some money.
Oh,
It'll work for a while. Yes, it's stuck. Pretty good.
wow.
I've never seen that. Other ones I've done, I've never seen someone do this.
Looks like the old seam sealer they used to use or something like that.
That's right. It's not like silicone, it's something else. Oh crap! That is stuck. It's really stuck good. Yeah. I'll have to get the heat gun. Heat gun will get it off.
Yeah.
The other side pretty much just peeled off. That's right in there. There must be clean metal under this bit because it's sticking good. Yeah, see? A little bit clean. Yeah. Actually, the rust isn't as bad as the other side.
Yeah, I think I just lost the passion for it when I was just getting turned down. I want to say that's it.
Jeez.
They didn't weld it at all.
So if you ever wonder why your panel beater won't give you a solid quote,
They probably did. I will do a good job.
yeah,
Just to hold it.
yeah, just the surprises that these old cars hold, isn't it?
Yeah. Have it. Would have worked at the time for probably a few years. What I do is I put flywire here on the vent.
Aye,
Stops any leaves and crap getting in there.
yeah,
And you just get tweezers if there's any there, you pull them out.
yep,
And that'll stop most of it shit building up.
getting down in there. It's a common problem with these though, isn't it? Most of the H series have this issue.
But most people replace that whole panel. There's no need.
Yeah,
Because they usually only rust here.
yeah,
They go through all that work and take the original panel off when all you got to do is replace this main section.
yeah.
And it's original, so leave it. That's what I do anyway.
Yeah, very good.
And these were cut off another car. These bits, they weren't actually rare spares parts. So
Oh, okay, yeah,
I don't think they made them in the day.
yeah.
Because this was an old restore.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had those parts in the 80s, would they? Well, there would have been plenty of wrecks around back then, I suppose,
Yeah.
wouldn't there, for them to pick from?
Because you can feel the old panel inside.
Yeah, oh, okay, so they've gone over the top of them.
Yeah. But they shouldn't have done that. Went all through that work.
Yeah. Just another moisture trap, really, isn't it?
As usual, it's great talking to you guys, and thank you very much for showing these cars to us today. And we'll be back shortly, and we'll have a chat, and we'll keep going with the progress and on the car, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, great. Thanks for coming.
Awesome, mate. Catch you around.
Cheers.
All good. Thanks, Troy.
No worries.